Hey guys, it's Labor Day weekend and we're gonna check out the air show. Look at this wonderful patch of goldenrod. However, it's overcast, so no planes in the air yet. And but check out this bumblebee. Just like me to walk past this amazing goldenrod and find the bumblebees at work. So our original flyers, they're out and about. It's just that the planes can't fly in this weather. So here's for hoping. Hey bumblebee. Just doing his job, making that pollen. Bye bye. So we're all patiently waiting for the skies to clear, but probably not this day. Look at this skyline. Look at the buildings. Oh my gosh, they're so ominous in the fog. Well, it's not really fog, mist, whatever. But here's my muse. He is on the lamppost. Hey, birdie. We're gonna draw him. And for a close up, here's this guy that was walking past. So I couldn't figure out how to draw and hold the camera at the same time, so we'll figure it out another time. But I stick around for an hour and here's a fire, people leaving, and everybody has pretty much cleared out and given up. And the birds are like, yes, it's our land again. So, hey guys, there was no air show today. The weather was just too bad, and they couldn't get the planes up in the air. So maybe another day, maybe next year, we'll catch the air show. I'm hungry now, so I'm gonna go look some food. It's so bad, guys. You can't even see the CN Tower. It's supposed to be here. Where is it? Look at this sketch pad. I couldn't resist. Alright, so I'm back at my desk and this is the sketchbook that I was drawing in today. And here's my pen. They're all from pencil, sorry. They're all from the dollar store. The sketchbook costs $4. The pencils cost about $1.75, I think. I think around 10 or 12 pencils came in the pack. So that was good. They came pre-sharpened, so I didn't have to get a sharpener, and they come with erasers. So I was a little bit concerned that maybe this wouldn't be enough eraser for me, but it was. So here's a pelican that I drew while waiting for the air show. There was no air show, there were no planes. The weather was just too terrible for that to happen. So here's the seagull. But I found my muse, and you can't really call him a seagull, right? It has to be a lake gull because there's no sea, it's just a lake. Okay, so these are really common downtown on the lake shore. So he was just on a lamppost, and so we got the lamppost. I was looking up at the lamppost and looking up at him. So this is the underside. I tried to depict that, and I think I did okay with his whole look. Let me see. There he is. So yeah, and he didn't sit still for the whole thing. Like, he left and then another one came, and then that one left and another one came. So I did my best. Hey guys, for this one I'm gonna speed up. I'm not streaming it because it's really early in the morning and I don't want to make too much noise. So I'm just gonna speed through this one. It's gonna be the blue heron. So let me go get rid of my warm-up heart. So I'm just gonna scroll in. Its heron is gonna be in some water, which I found was gonna be really cool. So the heron has like a small head and a big body. So we're just gonna just start there. Okay, so let me guide you through it. So we're just gonna start with the head, which is a circle and a triangle body, and that will be our first picture. And then we're gonna elaborate on that. So we're gonna put the neck in, just neck in the neck indicator lines, and I move the body a little bit down to compensate for the length of the neck. So let's continue building on that neck. And I move the head as well because you know, or where I place the neck. Then I just put in a little line to indicate where the beak is gonna go. We added legs to the bird, and then this is gonna be our second piece. And he's in water, so we added little ripples below. So that's gonna be our second bird, and we're just gonna put it there as progress. So I'm shrinking him a little bit so that he can fit on the paper now. I always start off really big and then shrink him a little bit as I go along. So we're gonna work on the beak a little bit and his iconic headpiece there. And then attach the neck to the body, and work on shaping that a little bit. Now we're gonna add his wings in and some thighs, some juicy thighs to this bird. So we're going to indicate that one is at the back and one is at the front. And we're going to add his knees. And then we're just going to add a little bit of the environment around the bird because he's standing in water. I just didn't really like where the other leg was so parallel to the other one. So I moved it a little bit so it spread it apart a little bit. And that'll be our next bird. So put him beside the other one as a little bit of progress. All right, so let's continue. Putting the headpiece on as well, those little head feathers, which is so popular on this blue heron. And I'm shaping the head a little bit now. And I think I'm going to work on the eyes. Yes. Working on the beak. For this whole thing, the beak was, I was not too happy with how the beak was looking. So I'm working on the beak in this one a little bit longer than everywhere else, I feel like. And so now I'm working on how the mouth looks in the book. So let's talk about feathers now. So I'm shaping the body now to make it look a little bit more interesting. And so that's what I'm working on here. And that took a bit of work. I am not happy with these knees. So you'll see me touch on them ever so often. So just working the water in a little bit now too. And just working on the ripples really. And that's our next picture. Let's put it there. All right, so in this next one, okay, so after I fuss with the program for a little bit, we're gonna work on just shaping the neck area a little bit, and we're going to be shading. So we're going to be shading certain parts of the bird. We're going to be shading the neck, we're going to be shading the back of the bird, we're going to be shading the underside of the bird as well. We're adding some dots to it, to the neck piece as well, and you'll see what I mean when I saw the dots in the book, and I was like, oh, this looks very interesting. And we're also adding some fuzz, some furriness, I call it, to the bird to indicate more feathers on the underside of the bird. And you'll see this later on as well. Working on the bushes a little bit, just to show a little bit of environment, and adding a little bit of shadow to the ripples as well. Working on the ripples at the bottom where he's standing. So that's pretty cool. So let's put that one up there as a little bit of practice and a little bit more details. All right, so we're on the final stretch here, guys. And so I'm gonna put him over here. He fits nicely over here. I thought I would have one more bird to put beside him, but we actually don't. So let's continue. I took that bush out from the left hand side and placed it on the right. I think that balances it out. I needed a little bit more space. And what am I working on here? Oh, the feathers. Oh my goodness, the feathers. I always have problems with the feathers, so I took a little bit of time here and worked the feathers in a little bit. They're not perfect, but I will get the hang of it by the time we finish 50 birds, eh? So just working on the feathers. I'm taking my time because I am not sure of what I'm doing, but I'm trying to make it work, and I'm putting in more shading as well, on the side of the bird, on the neck of the bird, to just maybe play with the shadows a little bit. And I'm coming back to the bird's legs. I'm shading the back leg to maybe just put it back in the picture a little bit, and the front leg, adding details there. So I'm shading the back leg to maybe put it in the back, and adding a little bit of detail there. Then I'm going back onto the eyes and the nose just to sort the head out a little bit now. And the beak, I want the beak straight, but it's not being straight. It's not working with me here, guys, that beak. And so I just adjusted the beak a little bit until I'm happy with it. I don't think I'm happy with it yet, but at the end here, I think I was okay with how the beak looked. Now I'm working on the face, that lower jaw there. Just adjusted that a bit, and then now I'm working on those dots that the book has in on the neckline of this bird, and I wasn't sure about it, but we'll get there later on in the video. And then now I'm shading the spots on the wing here to make it a little bit more pronounced. This part here, I'm working on the feathers a little bit, so just to get them right. Now I'm working on the little bush here in the environment, and just to make it come together. Shading the bottom part of the bird here, the underside for shadow. And now I'm going to work on the head feathers to just make them stand out a little bit. And final touches, and there we go. So blue heron, this is the results. And so basically I'm looking at the features that I just drew. There is this black part of the wing here that we drew in, which is that this is a painting someone did, which is right here. So that's this part of the wing I see. Another part that we noticed we put in was that head part, that headpiece. Let me adjust this over here and go back to Google. This headpiece here. So I noticed that. That's cool. So that's kind of what we were trying to do here. And then the dots, I think the dots we were trying to do, I found in one of these birds. Here. So you can see a little indication of the dots here. So that's kind of cool as well. And this furry bit, this feathery bit right here. Oh, I love this bird. This bird for the wings. You can really see why we had shaded in this part and maybe this part, because they're different colors. This part, the top part of the wing, and the bottom feathers. It's two different parts. Here it is again, that spot that we filled in. That's why it was so important to the artist that was drawing this bird also. And the head feathers right here, so I could really fix that. The other thing here, this furry part here, that's this indication right here. So it was pretty neat that how we got it done. So I fixed the top part of the head feathers, but I think I could maybe fix it a little bit more now that I've looked on their photos on Google. Made the beak a little bit more beaky. And I think that's it. So it's just basically putting in more details as you go along, just back and forth along the bird. So that's good. This is our blue heron. Happy about this one. So this is bird number 2. Let's get a good shot of our handiwork here. Bird number 2. All right, let's move on to the next one.